Hey gamers, Lord Arcane here, or as a lot of you in the Battletech world know me as Demon Stalker. Anyway, today I want to talk about Mechwarrior 5 Call to Arms. It was released last week. I was busy in Origin, so I didn't have a whole lot of time to play with it, but I want to get this video out ASAP. Alright, so, good, the bad, and the ugly. First of all, it's available Steam and Epic, probably other channels as well, but I know those two specifically for about 15 bucks. So it's not an expensive expansion pack. That's a big, big bonus for me. I'm broke. Now, other things to know about it. They have added a lot of melee focused. Well, that's kind of the whole point of the expansion in the mechs. According to their website, you're looking at 23 new melee or weapon focused mech variants, plus the Hatchet Man. A couple different variants of that too. 3 of them off the top of my head. And 5 new melee weapon focused hero mechs. 9 new melee weapons, 3 for each of the weight classes: medium, heavy, and assault. Apparently light mechs don't melee. That's neither here nor there. So that's the basic rundown of that. They've also added some new biomes, map types: Scrapyard, Tourmaline Rubelite, and Hoodoo Desert. I've played in both Scrapyard and the Rubelite Tourmaline Desert in a little bit of time I've had. Okay. Also, there's a new campaign that you can kick off with. Big bonuses on the campaign, whichever version you want to run it. If you start a game from scratch, it takes you a little while to get up to where you can have anybody play with you. It runs a long tutorial. It lasts a couple hours. Good, bad, and ugly. If you know what you're doing, it's frustrating. If you don't have a clue what you're doing, boy, do they spell it out for you really well. But teach their own. But with the campaign modes, like the campaign in this one starts in 3025, you have 8 mechs to choose from, a couple of them mediums, a couple of them lights, about 50-50 on those, and away you go. So if you play multiplayer, like my wife will occasionally play with me, things like that, then you can start out multiplayer. You can play from scratch multiplayer. You don't have to have somebody run through the single player for several hours to get there. So that's that. As far as other little things they've added to it, when you die in a single player mission, it's just not game over, boo-hoo. You can actually shift to one of the other pilots, take over another mech in the match. I ran one. I'll get through what happened in mine here in a minute, but that's kind of a neat thing. They've changed the contract screen just a little bit, make it a little more obvious what you're doing there. A little more flexibility on a few other things like mech tonnage they mentioned. That I didn't play with. I don't know how well that works. But there's your basic rundown of it. Now, personal experience time. I ran a match just for kicks. Did an instant action. Decked it out. I took a Hadamono Ki, whatever the name of it is. It had a katana. Big sword go swish. Made sure that every one of my lance mates had melee weapons too, just for giggles. I ran a mission. Okay. The biggest thing I noticed on the downside is the AI does not seem to really do really well with the melee weapons. Part of that is very likely the AI's, and this goes for both opponents and friendlies, reluctance to cuddle with an enemy mech. And there's some reasons for that. I can't blame them. If somebody's got an AC-20, you don't want to cuddle with them. So I didn't get a chance to swing my katana very often, although I did a few times. I really messed up an enemy urban mech I got hold of. It was kind of fun. So there's your pros and cons. The weapons are absolutely devastating. They do take up some tonnage naturally, but you have to really aggressively try to get hold of the bad guys. They don't like to cuddle, and your AI kind of seemed to have theirs wasted. I didn't. I might have missed a few AI attacks in there, but I really don't think so. I think I just kind of stayed at distance. So keep that in mind too. For 15 bucks, if you're a big fan of the Mechwarrior 5 Big Stompy Robot Squishy Mesh, like I am, I'm a big Stompy Robot file. Much to my wife's chagrin. I spend a lot of time and money on Battletech. Most of it's playing alone. But that's your thing. It is really a good pack for $15 if you want to cuddle. Even if you don't want to cuddle, the new map types and the new mechs are kind of cool. If you started that campaign mode I mentioned, you got an interesting start in that you kind of have an early mission. I'm not going to say it's the first mission you do, but an early mission to go take out some hatchetmen. And as part of that, you get a hatchetman with melee weapons because hatchetmen, and then you also get an assassin with a claw. So it's a ninja. So it's been interesting. It's been kind of fun. I haven't got more than maybe 3 hours, maybe four, to play it. I started a new campaign. I ran an instant action, etc. Multiplayer, if you got people you're playing with and you all like to melee, that could be a lot of fun. So there's your basic rundown, people. If it's your cup of tea, it's your bread and butter, whatever analogy you want to give it. It's really a good pack for $15. If you're not a big Stompy Robot fan, and you don't already have Mechwarrior 5 or you don't play Mechwarrior 5 often, probably not a huge investment for you, for $15, but to each their own. I'm going to give you the link to the website talking specifically about this expansion so you can see the details, the mechs I mentioned, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I wrote up a list of variants, but they actually have their own list on their website, so I'm going to trust their numbers better than mine. A couple Highlanders, a couple are an Atlas. Atlas go squish. Banshee. It's an interesting mix. Unless one of the Highlanders there, the other one must have been Hero. Anyway, I spent several minutes going through did the instant action, going, woo, big shiny. So that's the thing. Anyway, I will let you go. I'll talk to you on Friday. And enjoy your games, guys. May the Schwartz be with you. Bye.